This is Canarsie, Rockaway Parkway. The next stop on this Brooklyn-bound podcast is Last Stop on the L. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
It's your boy Juice, a.k.a. The Juice is Loose. Studio 231 is located in the beautiful and trendy Lower East Side of Manhattan with studio rates and full studio setup. If you'd like to record with me at Studio 231, you can reach me at juice-cannon.com or Twitter at juicecannon.
Last Stop on the L is proudly sponsored by Dulce Amore Couture, premium couture accessory line, specializing in jewelry and watches featuring the handcrafted Amore collection. Based in New York City, but not limited to, you can meet Miss Yeezy Smith on Facebook / Dulce Amore Couture or Instagram Dulce Amore Couture or visit the website dulceamorecouture.bigcartel.com.
Never been in love before. What the fuck are fucking feelings, yo? Once upon a time I was a hoe. I don't even want a hoe no more. Got you something from the liquor store. Little bit of Lizzo and some more. Trying to open up a little more. Sorry if my heart a little slow. I thought that I didn't care. I thought I was loving bad. But baby.
Yo, I got you.
Yo, welcome back to Last Stop on the L. I want to say shout out to all our listeners that actually been waiting for this episode. We appreciate you.
Humbly.
We love you. You know,
Appreciate you.
We've been out here. It's a contract year. You know what I'm saying? Supermaxes are in effect. We've been trying to get some of that bread.
Free agency, bro. I need that cash.
Katie about to get 32 to sit down. Shit. I take like 50 to stand up. Like,
Just make sure it ain't 50 Cent. He might end up on something and get trolled.
Yo, before we start this episode, I just want to let you know the Cheesecake Factory is Applebee's where the place from, my nigga.
All summer 19. Oh, I'm running with that shit now,
yo,
bro.
I'll be honest with y'all. It took me years to realize that Cheesecake Factory sold food. Like I'm like, y'all niggas come here for real meals? Like, yes. I just come for the cheesecake and go the fuck home. Like,
and the drinks.
I've never been to Cheesecake Factory. I've heard of Cheesecake Factory. Yeah. And everybody goes there. And Sage's grandmother goes every year for her birthday.
I've only ever ordered the cheesecake, but I've never, like, I've been to one, but I've never, like, even when I was at one, I still ordered just the cheesecake. I'm like, food.
I always had the concept, like, y'all really drive out the Cheesecake Factory. Junior's is right in Brooklyn. What are you doing?
Wow.
Facts.
That's why I never wanted to.
Ironically, you're right. Junior's diagonally across the street from Applebee's. I'm just saying.
Oh, we even introduced ourselves. Yeah, it's your boy Danny Ocion, DNYOCION. What's good, New York? How y'all doing?
It's your boy Chris from Highbridge. We back in this bitch.
Right off the back, young men got holler. That's your boy Mayhem Mike. Quoting my old Lil Wayne Lloyd song. So women come frequent like flight mileage. It ain't no secret. I might holler. What?
Catch up with the game.
Real faster. It was she's fine too. It's not 5'2". Get over it, son. That makes no sense.
But both of them work though.
It does though.
Both of them do work.
What happens is some skinny short girls felt away. Y'all need to let that shit go, okay? Let these tall girls live.
I'm mad that Lord didn't even clear it up. Lord just like, let the mystery stand. Niggas one song, just tell me what the fuck you said. Damn.
He don't know. I mean, by the time he gets to that point in the song, the crowd's singing it, so he just sticks the mic out to the crowd. That's it.
Facts, though.
Yeah, like, this is y'all part.
Hold on.
Okay, that's they wanted.
How many songs he got? It's you. It's all I really wanna. You back it up.
Boom, put your weight on it.
Yeah.
Then he has All Around the World with Luda.
Yeah, that was dope.
This goes out to
All Around the World.
I do not remember his Murder Inc. stuff.
Because I remember the shit with Ashanti.
Because all his Murder Inc. stuff came out when I was Team 50. And I was just like,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Scream murder. I
know she's gonna hate me for this, but whenever I think of Team Murder Inc. or just Murder Inc. in general, I think of Sideburns. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, son.
Listen, Sage, you know what it was.
Sierra too. Sierra got caught out there.
Sideburns sticking him out.
Yo, the shit that used to kill me was when they used to do the mixtape Heavy. and they used to come up with all the skits against Murder Inc.
Yeah.
Those shits were legendary, bro.
Shoot, one of them made the 50 Cent's album. Jeffrey Atkins ain't hurt nobody.
Yo, them Lloyd Banks punchlines were so vicious. Juniors, gorillas, and Black Child's the mascot.
What was the one on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Nigga, make some money before you make some comments.
Yeah,
that shit was champagne for cereal. Woo! Oh.
That shit when he did the fucking skit with Ja Rule doing voiceovers to other songs. And one of them was
yes.
Enrique Iglesias.
Where would I be without you? Yeah. Yo, for those listening, son, mixtape days with the shit. Go to datpiff.com and download you some, son.
I love when he got M out of his bag, too, because I know, listen, everyone remembers M for the controversial lyrics, but M was hip-hop's first white gangster. Let's talk some, like, M called gun cases, assault cases.
Yep.
M had people escorted out of cities with police protection. Like, he just wasn't talking it in his records. That's the difference between him. And that's what made him scarier, because he never talked gangster shit in his records.
Well,
that wasn't what he was known for. He was known for talking like, my mama crazy, I hate my girlfriend,
I'm crazy,
I'm about to say something wild,
I do lots of drugs,
yeah, I'm weird,
and I love my daughter.
Yeah, I love my daughter. But like, away from the mic, niggas is pressing people.
Let it slip, though. Remember when he talked about him and Dre standing next to a burnt down house with a gas full of can and a handful of matches and still no one found out?
Yo, I remember a story where one of the co-founders of the Source, it wasn't Benzino, it was the other one, Dave Myers.
Yeah.
He was on Detroit radio talking crazy about Eminem. And Eminem got a call from people. Let's just say that. And the call was basically like, listen, man, this dude on the radio talking crazy about you, and it sounds like you're disrespecting the city, so I'm heading down there. I know what you doing. Like,
you swat up by osmosis.
So it's basically like a call to let you know, like, listen, I don't know what your plan is, but on the strength of the D, shit ain't about to happen. So
me and my horse.
So I remember, I can't remember the story, but like, according to the story, just picture basically a half, like 8 Mile outside of this Detroit radio station, and Eminem, right? So it's just a bunch of hood ass black dudes and this blonde white, and Dave Mayer's upstairs, and he can't get outside because 8 Mile's there, and Detroit PD had to come, drive through the crowd, get him in the car, and drive him straight to the airport.
Take flight.
Son, did you just hit us with... Oh! Yo, shout out to Chris for that one, son. That's old school.
Woo, shout out to Trick. On the strength.
On the strength, nigga. Don't come to Detroit talking that shit.
Dave,
Detroit against everybody, nigga.
Dave, you was wild.
Facts. Didn't Flex have to go through something like that for talking crazy about Tupac in Cali? Yeah. Still dropping them bombs, huh?
I don't think Flex goes to Cali, though.
Not really.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
It's like when Tekashi was out. He didn't really go to Chicago. He drove by.
Hop out at 2 o'clock in the morning when nobody's around.
Damn right.
I'm just passing through.
Speaking of which, you know who actually was on the O Block the other day?
Who?
Casanova.
Ooh.
Broad daylight. Hanging out. I'm like, damn, Cass, you mad comfortable in the hood.
I mean, he's of the culture. What you gonna say to him?
Shit. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. A lot has happened. Canadians won the championship. This ain't happened when Obama was president. That's all I'm going to say.
Facts.
Niggas going to Parliament Hill.
You gave Aubrey a whole nother level of recklessness.
First of all, we talked about this.
As if wearing $1 million in Brioni in a fucking IG video wasn't enough flex. Now he got the whole country.
Son, when they won, why he came out the locker room like he was playing. Facts. Son, it looked like he just came out the shower.
Son, real talk. Cheerleaders and hype man just got a raise because of Drake, son. Real talk. Because that's what he was doing.
Nah, he's the greatest hype man I've ever seen, son. My son had his own press conference after the game. He came out the stadium to camera crews. He's like, Look around you. Look at what you see. We built this.
When did you start playing? Like, you wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
That was part of the Kawhi
the
movement.
parade float.
Yo,
100%.
Real talk. The only time we ever saw something like this was in a music video. He put all the other hype men to shame. Busta, you gotta fight, whatever his name is.
Flipstar.
Yeah.
Yo, son, I gotta shout out Toronto because the city really embraced this team. But I also, since Canada's my favorite country in the world. Sorry, America.
America.
I mean,
I do know there's some tea to spill. So in Canada, they view the rest of Canada is not as diverse as Toronto, right? So Toronto is the front-facing of Canada, but the rest of Canada is not as diverse, right? There are pockets of it, but the rest of Canada, not really, right? So they view Toronto in a negative light. In fact, the premier of Ontario, when they were building the new Toronto Raptors stadium and they wanted to put basketball courts around it, talked about there be a gang presence. And graffiti and property value. He did all that racist code shit. But now that they won, this is Canada's team. Nigga, you thought.
Call him out on that.
So when there's a video of this, you can watch it. When they announced the mayor of Toronto, big cheers. 1.5 million people cheering. They were Prime Minister of Canada, big cheers. When the premier, Doug Ford, came out, boom. They're like, oh, nigga, you thought? Fuck out of here.
We ain't forget. Facts. Pull everybody's receipts. They need to know.
Yeah, and plus, like America, like, all the big cities got beef. So Montreal ain't really cheering the fucking Raptors. Like, fuck out of here. This wasn't Canada's victory. This was Toronto, Ontario's victory.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Vancouver don't give a fuck about none of that.
Nope, not at all. Fuck out of here. It was a dope finals. It's sad that... Do y'all think Katie should have played?
No.
Nah.
You know what happened? Let me not speak like I know what happened, but like my guess is, because we all know Kevin Durant reads comments, it's very apparent that he cares what people think, and I don't fault him for that. We're all human.
Yeah.
I know that he did not want the Warriors to lose and have the narrative be, he actually hurt? Because that's what happened to Kawhi last season with the Spurs.
Right.
When he was hurt, people were like, is he actually injured? He got cleared to play. Is he just being a selfish teammate? And because of that, he put his whole career at risk. I mean, you could come back from an Achilles, but you're never the same.
Yeah.
Nope. Especially not at the level that he plays.
And also especially at his age.
Yeah.
You were never the same. So, like, the concern is, will he have that lateral movement? Because if he doesn't... He can still shoot jump shots, so that's still good. But like,
ain't nobody contesting that shit really. But he's gonna be a spot shooter.
Yeah,
not gonna be driving to the hole and having the same presence he had before.
I mean, it's easy to second guess now, but I know there had to be some pressure on him to do it. I just hope moving forward that players in that position realize these niggas don't care about you. B.
The fans don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit, especially the Golden State fans. They're like, oh, if we win and he leave.
Yo, and that was the thing too. Like when he was playing, I was like, this isn't really necessary because win, lose, or draw, let him sit out, let him worry about next year. Yeah. But if they do push it forward, let it be the fact that they play good team ball. Yeah. Whenever he comes out, it's more Kevin Durant and the Golden State Warriors. If he's not there, it's the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah,
Curry's there, but so is Klay Thompson, so is Draymond Green. Everybody plays their role.
Marcus Cousins.
Exactly. Yeah. And even that, he's really pushing the line too.
Yeah, he wilding too. Listen, I get it. You never know when you're going to be back for a championship. There's no guarantees in this game. But if this is your livelihood, you got to think long term. Especially if you already got a ring. You're a dick. Like, I'm trying to get $40 million a year. Fuck that.
That's a fact. Because once them checks stop, they stop.
People are like, oh, it's not all about the money. It's love of the game. I love this game to get this money.
Backs. Also, left center, catch the ball. Fuck Mark Stevens. I had to look up his name real quick. Remember Mark Stevens, the investor for Golden State?
Oh,
that the guy that got banned.
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, $500,000.
How you like my brother? I'm being sarcastic when I say brother. By the way, you are an owner of an NBA franchise, putting your hand on the player. First of all, Kyle Lowry could have beat you within an inch of your life. Like,
shout out to Kyle.
Kyle turned around, looked at you, and gave you that look of like, I'm on camera right now. I'm really from South Philly, but
Facts.
I'm on camera right now.
My check is saying no.
It's like, now I'm going to really fuck your team up for the shit that you just did. Like I'm about to beat their ass on the trail for you.
Facts. Plus, you know, I live in Canada now. I might send some niggas in the jungle to say hello to you. Oh man, but he probably gonna get forced out. All jokes aside, that owner more than likely is gonna get forced out of his share because that's a wild look,
and it's unbecoming of that whole team. Like the face that they have, bro, they're the baby face of the league.
Yeah. It's a goes against the brand 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no.
It don't make no sense. When Clay went down and then he came back out to him like, yo, this Iron Man mentality, I don't understand. Like, listen, I get it. Sometimes you're going to have to play through injury. Like, you could tell Kawhi was hurt. Kyle Lowry was not. If you look back at the series, he didn't use his left hand.
Yeah.
Like, he was dribbling right-handed the whole time. I get it. I understand. But those aren't career-threatening injuries, my brother.
Facts.
Yep.
If you fall down and you feel a pop, sit your beige ass down. Fuck your streak.
But I think in Clay's regard, the game couldn't continue unless he shot those shots.
Yeah, no. What happened is the game could have continued, but if he didn't shoot, he couldn't come back in.
Oh, okay.
So that's why he took the free throws. And he tried to run in it. And then the reason he got taken out was because the Warriors training staff knew after what happened to KD the game prior, if they let this nigga go out and he also got a serious, no one taking their word for shit ever again. like if you the Warrior medical staff, like, yo, you got a cut in your wrist. I'm gonna need 1,000 other opinions. Call my mom.
Got that whole goddamn staff. I don't trust you.
Call me now.
But like, what's crazy about this though? Like, to all the Golden State Warrior fans and bandwagoners, I'm not judging. But if y'all like, yo, they were hurt, nigga, how you think they won the first championship?
That's a fact.
Remember when Kevin Love and Kyrie were out? Y'all niggas was saying that shit. Cut the shit. Fuck out of here.
Very true.
And also, I'm going to be a Stephen A. Smith moment here for a moment. Steph Curry's one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He changed the way the game is played. This is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's 0 for 18 when it counts, my nigga. In game-winning shots in the finals, 0 for 18. He's 0 for 7 when it's 2 minutes or less. Woo, brother.
That's why old boy that be chatting against Stephen A. was like, I'd rather take Iguodala taking a shot.
Ooh, okay, I just fouled. Listen,
hello? You see the shade?
Earlier in the year, Draymond Green told Kevin Durant to his face, we won without you. We don't need you. You sure about that, nigga?
I still stand by that. I think if KD leaves, they're still a championship caliber team, bro.
Nah, not in this new West, bro. They need to keep Cousins.
Oh, no. I said KD. I didn't say anything about Cousins. They've always needed a big man.
I know I'm saying, like, if KD leaves, they still need to keep Cousins.
Yeah, of course.
Like, cause
they need a big man presence. Because even fucking, like, Looney was playing, and his presence there, they have a small team. They don't play big ball. They don't play with a big man at all. So not having any presence in the middle, they're going to have to shoot up shots like crazy. Nobody's getting the rebound. So what the fuck thinks going to happen? That's why they shoot the gym out. Because they have to throw up volume shots. They just so happen to be accurate.
I don't know, because they got, not to get to, I know our fans are listening, like, who don't care about sports. You're going to have to skip this part. It's been a moment. Anyway, they're paying Curry max. They either have to, they're going to probably pay Clay max, and depending on what KD decides, he'd get a max as well. That means the rest of that team is going to be niggas you ain't never heard of in your entire life, okay? It's going to be niggas from like, yo, you can shoot? All right. Because you can only pay but so many people $40 million a year before you're going over the cap. So the way the NBA is structured, there's a set amount you're allowed to spend on salaries, and for every dollar over it, you get charged. So, for example, if you go over the cap, let's take a team like Oklahoma City. They are paying $41 million a year, not to players, but because they're over the cap. So just every season, $41 million goes out to nobody.
Right.
Just because they're over the cap. But you're like, why would a team go over the cap? In recent years, there's been no team that's been under the cap that's won a championship. So if you want to win, you're going to need to buy players. And players ain't cheap. all those teams are like, yo, we're going to save money. All right, you're also going to save playoff wins because you ain't making it.
And you ain't going to get that money back because the fans ain't going to show up.
That's the thing, right? So, like, yes, you're paying money out, but now the Golden State Warriors are a global team.
Yep.
And they weren't. That wasn't always the case. You got to think bigger. But some of these owners, Michael Jordan, are just thinking about the season-to-season balance sheet. I get that. Take the risk. If it doesn't work out, you can always dump niggas. But at least take the risk. Anyway, we're gonna get away from that for a second. To the new niggas that made the league, shout out to that boy Zion. Cried real tears out there, boy.
Bro, he was. But you know what? One thing that really stuck out to me, it was a lot of dads this year.
Yeah.
A lot big fatherly presence. Like, they were walking up there with their dads. They were sharing real moments. And it's always like, whenever somebody make it to the league, you see mama there. And it's always, mom pushed me. And it was like, no, dads were around this year. And I think that really helped the narrative a lot, too. Like, black fathers are never around. It's like, no, now the dudes you're going to be cheering for, they have strong fathers. And not only just fathers that are there and push them to be like basketball players, they sacrificed. One dude's father's a pastor. Like, he groomed him in the church. This other dude, he wanted to be in the NBA, but he saw his son had a future. And he was like, you know what? I'll forego that to be more consistent in your life. And if this is what your dream is, I'll forego mine to have for you. Real shit happening, bro.
100%. And some of them who didn't have their fathers is because they died young.
Exactly.
It wasn't like some situation where they weren't in their lives. They died young.
And even when they mentioned it, it was still dad. Like, mom's here, but my father would be proud of me right now. So.
I thought it was a beautiful draft. I want to say shout out to the Knicks for not fucking it up.
That hashtag was going around.
Bruh.
Listen, Knick fans are in a bad way when they cheered their draft pick. It's been years since they cheered the nigga that got drafted.
That's a fact. That shit would happen with Porzingis. What the fuck is this? Just so happened to work out, but that was not a moment of joy.
When RJ's name came up, you saw niggas like, oh God, thank you. Oh my God. Yo, shout out to y'all. Welcome to the league. Don't blow your bank, please. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Listen to the old heads, but hold up, let me be very specific. Listen to certain old heads. Okay.
Isaiah Thomas in specific.
Yeah.
He was like, do not spend your checks. This is your first real
don't
shot.
Don't listen to Henny Smith.
God,
living my best life. Listen, if you want some good club recommendations, Henny Smith's the way to go. But financially, it's probably get around to the LeBrons of the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
The KDs, the Rich Klymans. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't Henny Smith not know they were still playing the game at one point?
Allegedly.
Famous meme of LeBron.
Yo, speaking of which, LeBron, the last couple of days demonstrated why he's the most powerful player in any league in the world. So as of right now, Clutch Sports is basically the front office of the Los Angeles Lakers. If y'all don't know what Clutch Sports is a sports agency run by Rich Paul. Rich Paul is LeBron James' right-hand man. So guess who's a Clutch Sports client? Anthony Davis. Guess who's on the Lakers now? Anthony Davis. All the top free agent targets of the Lakers, Clutch Sports clients. Shout out to Rich Paul out here, just like, y'all niggas don't got no team.
We're just gonna bring my whole roster this way. We're gonna keep all the money in house.
Yo, Ben Simmons, your contract up in a bit. What's up, baby?
Yo, that would be phenomenal.
That's a Clutch Sports client.
That would be phenomenal.
But he might want to develop a jump shot first. Anyway,
due time.
I'm going to get away from basketball a little bit to talk some international stuff. Right now is the Women's World Cup. Yo, I told this to my boy Mike, and I got to tell this to y'all here. Women's soccer is like the only athletic event where you see a team full of white folks and you go, I'm going with the white people on this one.
Especially after that ass whooping for Thailand.
Oh my God, was it 13-0?
14.
My nigga. Yo, that goalie cried real tears. I said, I get it.
I think that was basically like a statement. They were trying to basically tell them, like, you need to pay us the same way you pay the men. So that's why they went off on them like that.
Because there's been a lot of talk leading up to the World Cup about what the women perform. Listen, guys, y'all need to stop talking down on this team, okay? Like, in men's soccer, our team is
basura.
Yeah,
Beyond
just
basura. Like your juice.
Niggas is out here struggling. But when it comes to women's soccer, we like the dream team every year, baby. Like,
they put us on our back. They make us look good.
Like niggas go around the world. We like, what's that Beyonce said in that song? When you were little girls, you wanted in my world. Don't you forget it.
Bow down. Now that song is tough. I don't care. I'll sing that shit.
To give you an idea of how deep this team is, right? They drafted this roster, and this is true. One of the best players in the world, Carly Lloyd, yes. She comes off the bench some games.
Damn.
So it's like, remember when they had that dream team that year and Katie used to come off the bench?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
Damn.
All right, so I'm tired. Yo, bring Katie in. Damn.
That's Team Goldenfoot. What the fuck, son?
Yeah, son, listen. They out here to prove something, and they've been playing well. Shout to them. A lot of people are like, yo, why did they beat that team so badly? I'm like, this ain't Little League. There ain't no mercy rule out here.
Facts.
If you want to stop me from scoring, stop me from scoring.
Facts.
Ain't my fault y'all ain't got no feet. Ain't run around here pigeon-toed on a fucking soccer pitch.
Shout out.
I'm done with you, sir.
There is a woman on the U.S. women's national team who I want to shout out. Her name is, escaped me right now. I think her name is Prepon. She's a Black Lives Matter supporter. She does the knee during the national anthem. She don't give a fuck where she is. And she says, she started off because of Black Lives Matter, but then she also added on the fact, like, yo, when it comes to women's rights and gay rights, because she's openly gay, this country don't respect both of them. None of them shits. Like, I'm opting out on all of the above. Like,
damn. Well, that's the whole point of it.
And then they were criticizing her for the blowout, and then she was like, whose responsibility it is to make sure that the competition that we face is on par with us? Is it ours or FIFA, who spends dramatically less on this game? Like, FIFA has no interest in investing in the regions where these teams play. Some of these teams play 2 or 3 games before they come to the World Cup, while we are playing competition on a regular basis to get to this level. And then we face them, and it's our responsibility now to get them to this level. These are professionals. They know what they're doing. What's more embarrassing, me playing my best and beating you, or me visibly holding myself back? When you've worked hard to get this point, which one would you prefer?
At least you take an even loss. You know you suck, and you know where to improve.
Facts.
Yeah. So she's like, if FIFA wants better outcomes in the scores, then spend the money. Pay us as much as men. Invest in the same tournaments the way you do as a man. Otherwise, what are we talking about? Like, that's not my responsibility.
Shout out to you, sis. I had no idea she existed, but that's a real one right there.
I'm about to follow her right now.
That's an ally.
I was just like, damn.
I didn't even know you were coming to the cookout, sis. I'm going to make sure I'm saving your plate.
One more soccer thing. Right now, there's a bunch of World Cup qualifiers. No one cares about that. But I got to shout out Guyana. We made it to our first ever Gold Cup. Gold Cup is the World Cup qualifier. So the way the World Cup works, every region of the world has their own federation that governs them. The federation that governs North America and the English-speaking Caribbean and Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana is called CONCACAF. They have a tournament called the Gold Cup. You win the Gold Cup, you get to the World Cup. Nice. Right? So the Gold Cup's been happening this week. The USA men's team's actually been playing pretty well. They actually played Guyana, who made their I think second or first ever Gold Cup. We got our ass beat, but even the commentators like, hey, y'all play some pretty good defense. Thank you. I mean, we lost 4-0, but it wasn't Thailand. Like, we could go home after that. Like,
like we tried, goddamn. Man down.
Man down.
But so that's happening. Team USA is more than likely going to qualify. Anyway, Team USA is going to likely qualify for the World Cup after this. At least that's the hope. And Panama is doing well. Shout out to Trinidad and Tobago. They got their ass beat by Team USA. They won the revenge game. Last time they knocked Team USA out of World Cup contention. So they were out for that ass. They got them. And that's the last time we talk about sports, because I'm like, I know half our audience is like,
oh my God. Yo, you can use this to start conversations with other people with sports.
Don't worry, I'll let y'all know. Skip ahead 30 minutes. Y'all be fine. Relax. Anyway.
Stop it, 5. Stop it.
Let's get into some media shit. Thing number 1, that Ava thing on Netflix, How They See Us.
Yes.
Yeah, have y'all seen it?
No.
I have not. I can't.
I can't. Hold on. Let's address that. I haven't seen it because forget what I was going through and all this other stuff. mentally, just hearing people talk about it brings me down.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say, it's not like we don't already know the story.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the full story, but we can already guess how this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
And then what made it worse for me is that they started showing the same kids as adults now on Instagram, and there's just one guy, and I'm just like, yo, they really messed him up. Like,
I remember the story vividly coming up, bro. Like, my father used to follow that shit close, and I used to hear about it, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And fucking Trump basically putting a head out on these kids.
Yeah,
by
son,
having
page ad, they never apologized for it.
They had their fucking addresses and their goddamn phone numbers.
Oh, they asked him if he regrets doing that today. He said no. Anywho, shout out to Ava, because I think this kind of just reaffirms that she's kind of like one of the best of our generation.
Oh, and she doesn't want to be called auntie.
Oh,
Ava.
she definitely does not.
Do
Her,
not do
Oprah,
that.
or Gail do not want to be called auntie. They are not with it. I'm like, I get it. I understand.
You know, I ain't mad at her. She might just want to
still
go
on
out with
crack
the one
jokes,
name. Oh.
I'm like, I just want you to know, when I am calling you auntie, it's because I'm making fun of you.
She want to go down to one name status, like Prince, Oprah, Ava. That's it.
Like, if y'all bust into a Mary
she'll
J,
probably do A.
like, if y'all bust into a Mary J dance routine, oh, the jokes is coming.
In the dancery.
Shout out to Shane Room. He's been hitting us with like the what do you think the lyrics are? Dance sorry. I'm like, that's not one word, dancery. She's fine too. Nah, man, yo, that thing is serious. I'll probably watch it sometime this week. I need to watch it on strength. Shout out to the legal these kids who actually got the prosecutor to step down. What was her name? I'm messing up now. They got that nice little white lady to step down.
The prosecuting attorney,
that
wrote the book and was a college professor.
They pulled her book real quick.
Yeah.
I love
the one that made the whole career off of this shit.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck your lineage too, because they profited
You know what?
off
You don't
your
even
shit.
know her name. Fuck that.
People
bitch.
like, is it right to come after people years after? She built her whole fucking career off of this. Fuck her.
Facts.
Like, she knew she was wrong. She still stands on that shit. Well, let her stand on that shit. Like, fuck that. ain't no fucking sympathy on this side for that shit.
Yo, can I address that real quick?
Go ahead.
If you did some fucked up shit in the past, you need to pay for it. Yo, we all.
I don't care how long ago it was either.
Yeah, I just want to throw out one name. It might split people down the middle. Cosby.
That's what I was about to get to. I literally had an argument about this.
Yes.
People still believe that Bill Cosby, worth $400 million, allegedly, was gonna buy NBC Studios with $2.5 bill.
God.
You think NBC is gonna sell you for less than $2.5 bill? Who was backing him up? It's funny because when he was arraigned on, and everybody was like, oh my God, he's being charged for rape. I heard nobody saying we backing out. We're no longer supporting Bill Cosby. I heard awards and plaques and shit being taken back from him.
Right.
No people no longer supporting him, but I know nobody saying no, we're no longer friends with him. He didn't have the money. This was, you know what? I'll give you this. I'll give you that maybe competition was like, let's throw this out here and show it to like, but that's the rate of the game, baby. You either prove and show that I belong here or you sabotage other people. But still, the nigga still raped these women. All right, he still
really
did it. He was facing charges, openly talking about it, openly joking about it.
While we on that, OJ did it too.
OJ did it too. He got away, and this nigga
That nigga
fucking
said I still
book.
got grudges
If
out
I
here. I'm
did
like,
it, this is how I did it.
Good legal team, bro. That's
Right.
it. That's it. That's all
You
it
said
is.
Instagram shit?
Yes.
Oh, it was Twitter. It was Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, on Twitter. Now he's on
Yeah,
Twitter.
he's on Twitter.
Oh my god.
Okay, can I just say this? When this nigga speaks in front of a camera, it's creepy. Like, he should do horror.
Because he's a murderer.
Yeah, there you go. You're right.
It put you on edge because that nigga about that.
Like not every murder is the same, because if we're watching someone who's talking about fighting a war, at some point they killed somebody, right? So they killed somebody. But this is not that. It's not. This is someone who murdered his wife and I think her gay best friend and got away with it in plain sight, and we may have cheered about it, and then now years later we're kind of like,
yeah.
You know what's crazy? I was having a discussion with one of my coworkers, right, behind this whole Linda Fairstein chick. That's her name. That's what it is.
I got you.
She trash.
Yeah, she's super trash. But like, me and him always have these cultural debates when we're working together. He's a white boy, and we have the safe space to go back and forth, and I'll engage him in conversation. Never any animosity, but I was like, you know what? At some point, people around her need to get thrown under the bus because they profit off of this shit. He was like, well, how far are you supposed to reach with this? If you just punish her. I was like, no, she created wealth off of the backs of children that she sent to jail and is unapologetic for the shit. I was like, you know what? At some point, hypothetically, I wouldn't be mad. What's her oldest grandkid? Around the same age? That was ass in jail for a couple years. Trade 1 for 1. What's up? And he was like, no, you can't do that. I was like, listen, bro, I fuck with you. She's a piece of shit.
Facts.
This kid got to grow up under the auspice of this lady and benefited off of everything that she did off the backs of these kids. And that was a career-making case for her. That she wrote a book about this shit and became a fucking professor. You think that all this stuff happening is brand new? Emmett Till. Shit like that affects generations. People like reel off of this for decades. And it happens day after day after day. When something pivotal like this happens, there need to be some type of recourse. You can't just keep slapping a whole group of people in the face continuously and expecting them to take it.
But that's the thing. There is no recourse. And if
that's
it
what I'm
is,
saying. So if you don't want that to happen, then what's your other option? Where do you want that to go? Because the lady that said Emmett Till whistled at her and got the kid killed, still alive, and then she admitted to it.
Yep.
And nothing.
Yeah. At some point, that shit's gonna blow up. Was it the old saying goes, behind every great fortune is a great crime?
Yep.
Camelot, bro.
That reminded me
Kennedys.
of a controversial subject. Bronn in the last season of Game of Thrones, when he was having a conversation with the Lannisters, and they're like, "You're a brute," and he's just like, "What do you think your ancestors were?" Oh, what, they thought they were all these civil people having these nice teas and polite conversations. No, they're pricks like me.
Yep.
They're murdered and stole to get to make you are these nice pricks with your teas or whatever.
Like your clout was a learned trait, bro. There was goons ahead of you.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, I'm happy that stuff like this is coming out and that people are kind of getting what's coming to them, because for too long people have ducked this. And you know, the person that has so much coming to them, like, I don't believe in karma. I honestly don't. Like, people believe that, like, you know, sometimes you do something wrong and it comes back to you. I don't believe that happens 100% of the times. There are people that have done wild shit and went to bed comfortably and died comfortable lives. However, what I do believe is that you can only piss off so many people.
Get what's coming.
There is a limit to your madness.
Yes, agreed. You can get away with some stuff for one thing or a few things, but you can only get away with having everyone as your enemies at some point. And I feel that, you know, there's some people in this world where that's coming for them. I won't name them, but it's just coming for them. I don't know. I'm not saying, you know, something horrible. I'm just saying whatever they didn't want to happen is coming for them. That's all I'm going to say.
We've seen it early in the years. Once you mess with my check, then I'm apologetic. Oh, no, I didn't really mean it when I called him that word. Or when I did those things, those racist things, although I'm not a racist. I love that.
Listen, all power has limits, man. You know, one of the greatest examples I could ever give, in the West, we always talk about Vladimir Putin as if he's some omnipresent genius that's in every part of everybody's lives, right?
Yeah.
So you would think that whatever he says in Russia goes. A few years ago, he tried to raise the tax on vodka. There were riots.
Wait, you fucking with Russians vodka?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a funny one, but then recently he tried to cut back on pensions and raise the retirement age, and that was the moment when niggas is just like, listen, I know Vlad, come on, you know, like we boys, like I'm here with you, but nah. Like, I'm not about to go back to fucking Siberia, look niggas in the eye and be like,
back to this coal.
listen, I gotta go home at night. Like, they know where I live.
Real talk. If
They
you
will
live in
fuck you up out there.
Power has limits. So even Vlad has to know, like, hey,
I'm sub-zero temperature. You realize real quick, nah.
Like, pop out the fucking Siberia with dire wolves and shit coming after you.
Like, we with you with the international fuckery and the white supremacy, but you talking about my money. Hold up.
Facts.
That's usually where the caveat lies, though, bro. When you start fucking on people,
we want equal rights. Hold on, nigga. Anyway, facts. That's how it is, son. We only come together, but so much.
But going back to the media, I got one Netflix recommendation: Black Godfather. The Black Godfather. So there's two things like media properties are called Black Godfather at the moment. One is Forrest Whitaker starring as Bumpy Johnson on Stars or Encore or Epix, one of them channels. Mm-hmm. And the other one is about this guy named Clarence Avant. Mm-hmm. Clarence Avant was a dude that only got to 9th grade in high school. Started off as a club promoter in, I think it's in Atlantic City or Newark, somewhere out there. Mm-hmm. And he became an apprentice to a guy named Joey Glazer. So Joe Glazer was like the original Live Nation. So back in the day when black musicians started popping and traveling the country, their managers were white, right? But here's a little secret. Not only were their managers white, their managers were mob connected.
Yeah.
Because all the big performance halls and all that, hotels, who control them?
Mobs.
The mobs. So that's how Clarence Avant got in the game. He was under Joe Glazer, who told him the game. And the reason this shit is impressive is because this dude went from, 9th grade education, booking agent, to now one of the most powerful men in Hollywood. How powerful? When Soul Train came on, it was revolutionary. Not just because it was black people on TV having a good time. Like,
Facts.
No one was struggling. It's just cats out here having a good time, looking fly, dancing, flyest music,
killing on routine sometimes.
But until that point, Dick Clark had dominated that moment. American Bandstand was the MTV of its era. You weren't nobody if you were an American Bandstand, and up comes Soul Train, who not only is not American Bandstand, but they have a direct plug into the coolest new music, which is black. All the performers are almost everybody in Soul Train is a black artist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're all coming to Soul Train before American Bandstand. So if you're watching TV and you're like, wait, all the new shit's coming on Soul Train before American Bandstand, the fuck am I watching American Bandstand for, right? So Dick Clark peeped game and try to kill Soul Train. He created a generic copy like Soul Circus, some bullshit. Had a deep voice Negro as the host and was going to launch the shit, and came to Clarence Avant like, yo, I need your cosign to make you producer or some shit on this. I'll give you this basically giant bag of money. And Clarence was just like, nah, fuck you. And then he walked into ABC offices and just like, if you motherfuckers put this shit on the air, I will surround this building of protesters. If you want to see a bunch of angry motherfuckers, try me. And they canceled. He saved Soul Train on the because he had. Think about this, right? This is the 1960s.
That's what I'm saying.
60s, 70s.
A black man with that much juice.
He walked
on ABC.
No,
bro?
like he didn't just walk into like talk to secretaries. My nigga just straight up walked into the boardroom because they knew him. He was the only black. He was the only black dude that could do that.
Yeah.
He walked into the boardroom, looked niggas in the face, was like, "I will shut this shit down."
You know what? While you're saying that shit, all I hear in my head is Jay Prince, Mob Ties.
That's how he moved sometimes. Because you said, like, I knew those fellas. That's all he would say. They're fine.
It's some good guys, you know what I'm saying? It's some good fellas.
That's my son.
And, like his stories are crazy because, like, just the way he moved through life was just so unapologetically black. Okay, Hank Aaron's about to. This is the last story. I don't want to ruin this doc because it's amazing. Hank Aaron is about to break Babe Ruth's career home run record, a record that no one ever thought would fall just because of how consistently you have to hit and for how long. Right? Like Hank Aaron's home run record is like 700 plus.
Ooh.
Think about how many home runs a year you have to get to 700 plus in a fucking career.
In the games that you're playing.
Son, that's a lot of hits, right? So when Hank Aaron was on his way to breaking a record, he's playing for the Atlanta Braves in the 1970s, and a black man's about to break the record of one of the greatest white athletes to ever live. Were people excited about this?
Of course not.
He got death threats.
Woo!
ASMR.
He had to have security during the last, like, as the record got closer. And he wasn't making bank until somebody introduced him to Clarence Avant. Clarence is like, oh, you about to break Clarence didn't care about baseball. He's just like, I heard you about to break some record. Yeah, is it worth something? What do you mean? He's like, how much are you getting paid? Does it get a bonus? He's like, nah. He's just like, nigga, you're not getting paid? He's like, all right, let me see what I can do. I shit you not. This is how he pitched one of the first major sports endorsement deals. He walks into Coca-Cola, which is headquartered in Atlanta. The Braves are in Atlanta. Hank Aaron's in Atlanta. He literally walks into the CEO's office and he says to the CEO, y'all really don't think niggas drink Coke?
No fucking way, bro.
Facts.
No fucking way.
Facts. They must have been like, what?
No fucking way.
So the documentary guy's like, did you say it just like that? Yeah. I couldn't believe he didn't think niggas drank Coke.
No, bro.
So the Coke CEO's just kind of like, what the But he knew who he was, because the reason he walked into the office is because Clarence knew people that basically got him to literally just access to walk through the building. So he's just like, I heard about you. Yeah, let's talk. And he got a deal with Coke that was just mwah. And the funny thing about it is Hank Aaron is such a good dude. I think he made more money off of that Coke deal than he did ever playing. And here's how good of a person Hank Aaron is. He turned around and used that money in his foundation. The vast majority of the money he made from Coke, he put back into the community.
Wow.
Because he's just like, I was good financially after the deal and all the years of playing. And I was just like, but I have the opportunity to actually do something. And that's exactly what he did. Like, he started his foundation to help. I forgot what the foundation did, but like the majority of the money from the Coke deal went into there.
Wow. Damn. You said Black Godfather? You gotta watch
Clarence Avant, man. He's given some of the best people some of the best advice in the world. Like, he used to straight up, he once stole a client. I'm not going to tell you who the client was. And he wasn't even trying to steal. He was just, they're trying to do a deal. And because he was also a manager at a point. And he was talking to these people. I won't ruin it. I won't say who they are. And he's just like, so how much y'all getting off this deal? And they're like, I don't know if we should. They're like, what am I going to do? Like, the deal's already signed. How much y'all getting off?
Facts.
That's it? Are y'all serious? Okay, whoa, okay, brothers, come here. This is how much you should be getting, and this is how much you should be asking for, and this is how you structure it. And then they're like, yo, why you telling me this? He's like, I hate when niggas getting underpaid, man. That shit.
I'm missing out.
Shit be pissing me off.
Yo, wait.
I'm about to put this
This is
on.
like, that's the first question you usually ask somebody when it comes to advice for a deal. How much you getting paid? What the fuck?
I mean, that's straightforward.
Damn.
That's the most important question.
Son.
That's a riptide for your ass.
Facts.
And it's not even like he takes commission on most of these. Most of these are just on the strength to helping niggas out. And he got like
Literally.
a ton of mentors and all that stuff. And it's funny because when shit got real for him, and the repo man came for his ass, shit got real for him, and he thought, like, I'm fucked, right? But this is how you know somebody's out here doing real work without thinking about long-term what that means for them. People heard that he was in narrow straits and like was struggling, and just like, yo, we'll hold you down. He's like, yo, I'm not asking you to. And they're like, nigga, we know.
Facts.
Yeah, it's off the cuff, bro.
I wouldn't have this if it weren't for you.
Like,
Here.
son, and the people that are saying that, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, are some of the most powerful white men in America. Telling stories about how Clarence are just like, why the fuck you not doing this job? Like, you more qualified than this nigga.
Wow.
See, now I got more stuff to watch with Sage.
They wrote him a check straight up, and they're like, yo, I don't know when to pay back. They're like, I didn't ask.
Oh.
So all those commissions that you ain't never asked for, off cuff, bro. Here you go.
Yeah, hold that
couple mil.
Damn.
So like now, yo, just watch this doc, because the amount of shit. It's the two most impactful documentaries I've ever watched in my life. The most powerful documentary I ever watched in my life was the shit on Quincy Jones, which is on Netflix. Mm-hmm. If y'all want to be impressed at a man's legacy, watch that shit, because we have a sense of who Quincy Jones is, but when you go through this man's accomplishments year by year, decade by decade, you realize like there are a lot of people that have done a lot of things. Like, they've dabbled in multiple areas, right? But there are few people that have done everything great. Right? I'll give an example. Okay, I'm going to teach myself how to produce jazz albums. He produces some of the most important jazz albums of all time. I'm going to teach myself how to create soundtracks. No formal training. To create soundtracks from movies. Create some of the most successful soundtracks of all time. Oscar-winning scores. I'm going to see if I can do this magazine thing. You're the Vibe magazine, by any chance?
Damn.
One of the most important. I'm going to see if I can dabble in TV. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Son. Was he on a super drug?
Yeah, I think my mic just... Look. Yeah. But, like, son. I'm watching this documentary in my house like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, could you imagine me, his kids trying to follow that up? Oh, geez.
Yeah, that's always the bullshit. It's like, fuck you follow that up.
Nah, go play sports because Pi's jump shot was weak.
Work in his office or something.
Yeah, but that's my recommendation for Netflix. Black Godfather, the Q documentary, in case you haven't seen that. What else have I watched on Netflix that's been good recently? Oh, there's a dope shit coming out of Amazon Prime on the Blurred Alert. There's this show about... So it's a show about superheroes, but it's a twist. The twist is
I know what you're talking
superheroes basically are celebrities that fucked up lives away from the glitz and the glamour, and he's the guy that deals with their bullshit.
Got you.
Like niggas ODing off of coke and shit. He's the one that they call.
Yeah, I saw a little promotion for that shit. It looked really interesting.
Yeah. That's just fire, man.
I forget. Did we talk about See You Yesterday last time?
I think so. Yeah, but we never released that episode.
Oh,
but phenomenal. Movie.
We have to
Have you
definitely
seen
check that.
No. It's a black time travel piece, man. It's a beautiful film.
Realistic as fuck. It's set in Brooklyn. Were they really Guyanese though? The accents were trash.
Okay, no. The old people accents, they're on point, but the young people sound like me trying to sound with my Guyanese. It ain't there.
Trash.
Yeah, dandy.
Guyanese people. No, we don't sound like that. No, but it's dope because you know what I loved about it, just getting away from the awesome blackness that it has. Is just the geek side of it is the time space continuum madness, as I call it. When people mess with a time stream, they're never happy with it. We've seen instances of that in like the Butterfly Effect, Ashton Kutcher, and other time space movies. And you see it in The Girl. I'm going to let y'all watch it, of course, because she's trying to fix things because she believes she has the power. And that kind of happens with us. If we feel like we have the power, it's hard to let things go. There's a lot of undertones, a lot of things going on. Watch it. Man, we may have to release that episode.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely will. But that's some dope shit, though. Sorry, you gonna say something?
No, I'm good. Y'all got me stuck right now. I'm
watch
racking
it,
all
son.
this shit in my head now, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Put it on your queue list.
Time with Sage, just some shit to sit down and watch.
I mean, we talked about the Game of Thrones ending. Do you have anything you want to share?
No, fuck them guys, man. That's what I got for that. Fuck them guys. You know what?
I will say that the last episode, the best part is when the dragon comes down and Daenerys Stormborn is walking out and it like spreads its wings and you kind of get like Maleficent vibes and shit. I like that's a dope shot. But everything else was trash. I had hope. I'm gonna say this. I had hope. I thought everything was gonna wrap up nicely.
I've had time to like gestate and think about the last season. I still don't hate it as much.
Yeah.
Like there's I think there's some really amazing moments that reminded me of why I love this show.
Night King, take this jab.
Oh, Ari at the buzzer, baby.
Look at what we did. We did this. We made this.
Yo, somebody had the dopest shirt. It's like the Jordan.
Yeah.
But it's Ari.
Yes.
I'm dead.
The memes were crazy.
Yo, the bees are fire. But the only complaint, the strongest complaint that I have is like, y'all really gonna call that nigga Brand broken? I mean,
by his own.
Yo,
don't he get a say in the name? Like, that's foul.
First of all,
he gonna walk that dragon and come after all y'all.
I fucked your Brand because he was like, nigga, you know why I'm here. It's like I seen all this shit coming. I was just waiting for y'all to realize I'm the one.
Oh, y'all had jokes this whole season. I've been setting y'all niggas up like chess pieces.
Facts.
Bitch.
I seen the past, the future, and the present.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm him.
He's basically Game of Thrones Doctor Strange. I saw a couple possible outcomes, and I wanted the one where I was on the throne. So, yeah. Sorry, John.
I don't want that shit no more.
It's real, nigga.
Facts. Victim of his own success. Remember that meme?
Suffering for success. See Khaled on that cover. Oh.
Follow the side.
We're going to address Khaled, though?
Woo! We're going to get to Khaled in a second.
Okay.
Is there any movies or any TV shows that we should be talking about?
Blackish did a great Juneteenth episode.
Oh, I heard about that. I didn't see it yet.
It was dope.
Shout out to Grownish in case y'all have been watching. It's a really fascinating show. It's not a different world, which is good.
Yeah,
because it's more relevant for this generation. But it's some dope shit. Anything TV we missing?
No,
not me, bro.
All right, let's get into some music fuckery.
All right, cool.
DJ Khaled's the they. He been warning us about this whole time, son.
DJ Khaled don't want you to win.
My son was mad.
Big man. Yo, what's up with everybody coming after Travis Scott, though?
Oh, my.
Let that man eat.
Listen, let's. Didn't Jay-Z talk about this? Y'all still talk about Billboard? Are we still doing this?
They don't call that real money over here. I'm just saying.
So Khaled was mad because Tyler, the Creator, got his first #1 album. Shout out to Tyler because it was actually a historic first. It was the first #1 album ever by a rapper in which he produced, wrote, and arranged every single song.
Yeah. Tyler put in work.
Yeah.
Tyler put in work. A lot of his fans were talking about this.
Yeah. So that's a historic.
It's a lot.
first.
He's going through some things supposedly too, but he came out and then he was just like, boom, enjoy this. And I've heard nothing but good reviews about this album.
Yeah, I feel this is the new J. Cole went plat with no features.
I mean,
and Khaled came in #2 in the first week, but actually went #1 in the second week. Khaled was mad because he had a merch bundle with Monster Energy Drink. Basically, if you bought an energy drink, you get an album download, and he did 100,000 albums sold that way. And Billboard decided not to count that, and Billboard is standing by it, even though they counted Tyler, the Creator's merch bundle. But Billboard's argument is not that they didn't count it because it was a merch bundle. They didn't believe Khaled's numbers. So it wasn't, oh, we're not counting your merch bundle. It's like, look at these numbers. It's fugazi.
facts.
Niggas don't drink Monster Energy like this. Fuck out of here. Maybe Red Bull. Fuck out of here with this shit. And as a result, Khaled went on a hating spree, yo. He was wilding in the offices of Epic, which, by the way, with all due respect to DJ Khaled, him being mad must be hilarious. Because that's the least threatening nigga in hip-hop. So
listen, son.
I say that somebody that puts fear in nobody's heart, but, like, this nigga yelling at me with a got giggles. Like, yo, what the fuck you gonna do?
That's like being threatened by Oswald Cobblepot with a beard. Like, no, Penguin, sit the fuck down. We don't take you seriously.
What the fuck? You gonna include me in your they rants?
You really think I didn't put those numbers up, DJ?
They laughed at me.
I mean, Ocean, you were right, son. Like, we had this conversation before. Khaled has a string of hits, but no actual hit albums. Think about it. Foot back to front. Trust me.
True.
Come on, son.
But
you ain't got it like that.
He's not a
Yo,
artist.
Major Lazer probably sells more than him, son.
He's not an artist. That's the shit that bugs me out. Dude, you facilitate records. That's it. You don't actually rap on shit. You don't sing on shit. You just put other people together and put your name on it.
To be fair, Chris, if we had this conversation before this, I'd have been like, it sounds like you don't want him to win. Turns out he was the you.
I don't know, man. I heard about it and I was like, this doesn't seem like it's worth the energy.
Oh, I'm gonna come out left field with some hate. Son, that Megatron song, that shit is whack, son. That shit is whack. The video was whack. It also reminds me of Anaconda. Shout out to her for bigging up her jail nigga, sarcastically. I got a picture because during one of the scenes, maybe it was a long day or whatever, they tell sis her eyelash was falling off and she winked. I put up on my Instagram, women can't wink properly anyway most of the times. This shit looks weird. Nobody told you that your eyelash was falling off, sis. You need better friends.
Listen,
and you also need a better writer, too.
Nikki's time has passed.
You right.
Nikki's time has passed. Her ship has sailed. you didn't go in the right direction with the shit you were doing. I think honestly, a lot of females in the game were just at the point where like, especially involved in like the whole Me Too thing and women trying to pull themselves together as a collective. If you hating and you trying to divide, your time is limited. That's not the space we're in right now. Women are trying to be together and bond together. You look at somebody like fucking Meg Thee Stallion. She bigs up everybody. She fucks with everybody, and she's loved because of it. And she's brand new. It looked like she been here for years type shit.
Yeah.
Just because of the energy that she gets from people. Yeah. So I don't know. Nicki's time's over, bro. And then Meg got a real ass and is fatter. So
Meg been taking shots at Cardi. So we'll see how that goes.
I think it's only superficial. I think it's the drum up.
I'm gonna co-sign on that. I'm a co-sign on that.
I don't know. We'll see. Speaking of Cardi, we about to have some free Cardi shirts soon.
Facts.
Listen, bro.
She got that 14-count indictment.
That shit sound like a whole bunch of misdemeanors and the niggas talking shit. Fuck out of here, son.
It's a bunch of misdemeanors and 2 felonies. Okay, it's 14 years. I think it's 14 years? 10 years? Something around that.
Y'all should
Highbridge just stripped his dick. That's a first.
Cardi's like, throw the lawyer money at this.
Yeah, real talk.
Facts. I'm messing with that I don't care the one for DJ Khaled, but Press, I'm feeling Press. Real tough. Tough.
You could bang Press out the windows.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been listening to Benny the Butcher, man. He's just straight.
I'm telling you, this motherfucker Danny Ocion is like Darkwing Duck, bro.
Yo,
fucking Drake Mallow in front of us, and then when he turn on that grime shit and all this other hood shit, he about to go pull out the extendos on somebody, bro.
Facts.
I've known this man for years. Ain't nothing changed.
Listen, the only thing I've been listening to recently is "The Plugs I Met" by Benny the Butcher, which the title should tell you what type of music that is. And my man Skepta joined Ignorance is Bliss. I mean, again, like
the range here. It's not
I mean,
it spoke for itself.
Though, in terms of like non-confrontational music, there's this one song that younger me would have laughed at, but like I guess adult me is into. Don't Be Afraid to Be Different by Logic featuring Will Smith.
Mm-hmm. I heard about it. I haven't heard it yet.
I enjoy the shit out of that record because Will Smith is doing what Jay-Z's done his whole career. He states the stats to stunt. Because he starts his verse he goes, in West Philadelphia, born and raised. Man, fuck that shit. Yeah. And then just goes into his actual verse.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, because when you think about it, low-key, that's one of the most famous rap verses of all time.
That's a fact, though.
Son, he did that shit on a whim with him and his boy Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Like, come on, son. Like, and then he just starts stating all the stats of his accomplishments in the song. You're just like, all right, Will. All right, damn. All right, Jesus. Like,
fuck, damn.
All right, relax.
Speaking of back actors, shout out, I don't know if this is going to do it, but shout out to Rihanna. Highest paid female artist, 600 mil. She doing her thing, luxury brand.
Ooh, that Fenty. Ooh. Did you see her get drunk with Seth Meyers?
LVMH.
No.
Yeah.
Seth Meyers and her did a video called Day Drinking with Rihanna, and they get drunk. It's hilarious. By the way, God, I want to get Rihanna pregnant. Anyway, she just looked into the camera. I was just like, yup.
That right there.
That part.
Fellas, listen, y'all all have that one woman. She make eye contact with you, just like, yup.
About to risk it all.
Facts.
Hopefully that's the woman in your life if you have one. If it's not the woman in your life, you stop looking at women in the eye.
You see I got quiet. I ain't say shit. Say you know what it is.
Turn off his mic.
I want to smoke. I found mine. Love you.
But shout to J. Cole. Have y'all heard Ari Lennox's album?
Yo, I've been banging her shit heavy, bro.
It's normally not my shit, but that Shea Butter record and what's the other one? BMO? Like, all right.
Yeah.
All right, I can fuck with this.
Yeah, she got a good vibe to her shit, bro. Nice. I like her music a lot.
And one last shout out to that boy Davido. Dundalk, and boy, that boy stole how many hooks from people? I'm not even mad at that.
Facts.
But shout out to my Africans because y'all do the same thing the Caribbean folks do. When a song get popped, that remix comes.
Facts. But listen, Swagger Jack has always been great if the song slaps.
Shit.
That's a fact.
So as long as it slaps, we good. Let him eat.
Oh, speaking of which, So Lil Nas X released his EP. Have y'all heard that shit?
Yes, I heard some of it.
He got at least 2 more hits left.
Rodeo.
He's about to have that
that's the
Fetty
one with
Wap
Cardi
run.
on it, right?
Yeah, that's the one with Rodeo he released. And then he's got
Panini.
Panini, yes.
Panini, yeah.
Yo.
He got, he's having a Fetty Wap run. Like, I might be only here for 3 records, but they're going to be big.
Facts.
I'll take that. You see,
I want to see what he does next because he's talking about expanding, like doing another genre. Yo,
he does whatever genre he pleases.
If that's the case, I'm about to follow him just on strength. Fuck this shit up.
The Panini record is a flip on a Nirvana record called Bloom. So he's doing whatever genre he fucking pleases.
Oh, so he's an actual artist.
Yeah.
Apparently.
His he in an interview.
Fuck the cowboy boots and the Stetson. It's going down.
Oh, y'all thought I was a gimmick? You thought?
No, because he said in the interview, he was like, I want to make sure that every time you turn on the track, you're actually listening to me because we're too busy in our phones doing everything, which is ironic because that's how he said it. This is how I got on because everybody was on the phones. I became a viral sensation. But since you listen to my album, I want to make sure you listen to every lyric. And I was listening to like the first 6 songs, and I don't know if Panini's in there, but like, you could tell, like, he crafted that. Like, you remember when artists used to actually sit down with their producers and add little things and add lyrics, and he used to be like, yo, this is an album. Yeah, this is what he's bringing back. So far. So far.
Hey, I messes with it. Shout out to him. He's about to have his 15 minutes into as long as he wants to at this point. He's
not abstract like Jaden Smith. But at the same time, he does slaps. Like, some of his shit slaps. And you're just like, okay, well, I'm waiting for it to catch on a little bit more.
Copy.
You got any recommendations, Highbridge?
Nah, I'm good. I've been,
press.
I've been on my grind shit, bro. I've been so out of damn focus.
All right, listen, son, I got you. Yo, we about to transition to some news. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about Trump because shit's happened back in the motherland that we need to get to talking about. Number 1, y'all heard what's happening in Sudan?
Yo, bro.
It's got what's up, first of all.
They finally admitted, right?
First of all, I just want to take this moment. Like, I know the folks in Sudan are still protesting for their freedom. Niggas is really dying just for the right to say, I want to vote for who represents me. Like for real.
Yeah.
But I want to take this moment to celebrate one positive that has come from this. Fuck you, Omar Bashir, you piece of shit. You about to, I'm not going to wish that on somebody publicly. But your time on top has ended, and your time period is also not looking good. Yo,
I'm hit you with the man on fire. I wish you had. I don't wish you had more time. Never mind. That's actual scene, son.
In case y'all don't know who Omar Bashir was, years ago there was a genocide in a region of Africa in a region of Sudan. I want to be general. In a region of Sudan called the Darfur. In the Darfur, Sudan is one of the largest countries in the world. It's a very ethnically diverse country, even though everybody's dark skinned. Yes, there's diversity within black people.
Who knew?
Just because he has dreads doesn't mean he's Jamaican.
So northern Sudan is predominantly Arabic speaking and Muslim, and southern Sudan is predominantly animist, native religion. So animist is like traditional religions and Christian, right? The Darfur was one of those regions in the south, and there had been insurrections there. So what Omar Bashir did was basically kill the black people because he identifies as an Arab. I believe one of his quotes was, there is no such thing as black culture. Blacks are like an oil drum. Whatever you put in it, that's what they are. Wow. So, Omar, you about to get put in an oil drum. So,
wow.
Let's find out if that theory works, brother.
Let's see what the label we put on that is.
But
piece of shit, more likely.
Here's the greatest irony of him losing power. Y'all ready for this? One of the greatest ironies of Omar Bashir losing power, one of the ways in which he successfully, unfortunately, the genocide in Darfur was a success. He accomplished what he wanted to, which was to get rid of the tribe that he was beefing with in the region. It was through a paramilitary group called the Janjaweed Militias. So you're like, what the hell does that mean? Okay, let me describe it to you a different way. So the United States has Border Patrol, right? Mm-hmm. So Border Patrol is a government agency and is technically limited in what they can do based on the laws of the United States. Now, what happens if Border Patrol give niggas that want to be Border Patrol but aren't Border Patrol guns and authority to do what they feel like?
Oh, shit goes left field. Yeah, isn't that what we're currently going through right now?
It sounds just like it. Anyway, that's who the Janjaweed were. They were the dudes the Sudanese army was just like, yo, we can't really be doing this shit because, you know, niggas catch cases. But hold this AK. Do what you gotta do. So the Janjaweed were the ones that were the main committers of the atrocities in Darfur. And because of that, they were raised by they were comprised of a rival ethnic group to the ones that were being killed, right? And as a thank you for them doing this genocide, Omar Bashir made them an official part of the government. So they're no longer the Janjaweed. They were basically given a name that makes them sound like they're official Border Patrol agents. Who's the person that overthrew him?
The leader of that damn
The leader of the Janjaweed militias.
Wow.
How far we've come.
That
sounds a little like karma, bro.
Facts.
Just a little bit.
Like I said, I don't believe in karma, but that's pretty close, though.
This might be an example.
Boomerang, bro.
So what happened was, so Sudan, like many countries in the region, is very young. And young people like ourselves, and by the way, even though we not like young, we still young by realistic standards in terms of age.
Right.
People, we've grown up in a generation in which we have access to information. We see how everybody else lives. We can compare lives. We can travel. We understand what's going on in the world. They're like, yo, what the fuck we living like this?
Facts.
Y'all got mad oil money. I mean, we are not the richest country, but shit shouldn't be like this, right? And I forgot what the original protests were about, but it quickly snowballed. Like, people start complaining about one thing that somebody's just like, yeah, but what about this? What about, like, yeah, this still been in power for 30 years and we still dealing with this bullshit? Yo, get him out of here. And they did. Omar Bashir got removed by the military. But as I said, the guy that did the Janjaweed is now technically in charge, right? He's not a charge on paper. There's some puppet that does questions or whatever, but everyone knows that the Janjaweed. Now, here's something I want you to think about. How did the Janjaweed guy rise to power? What did he do to get there? A genocide. Do you think he's about to do democracy?
Hell no.
If
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The democracy.
What?
Boy.
Like, I got this far.
What is democracy?
So, as a result of this, he's literally just started murdering people in the streets. People who've been peacefully, when I say peacefully protesting, I mean they've been singing songs and like camping out with signs. They're being shot in the streets, tortured, kidnapped, raped, houses set on fire, parents being punished. Like, your kids protesting, fired from your job. Even if they're not even government workers, fired from your job. Being attacked, harassed, threatened, passports being taken away, not being allowed to come back in the country, anything possible. And the rest of the world's just kind of giving it the ye old shoulder shrug. And the reason is, it's funny, we in everybody else's business, they asked the United States Africa Command if they have any thoughts on this. Huh? Right. That's in my business.
But your ass was in Libya, though.
Right, I was about to say.
But you know who is involved in this?
Who?
Saudi Arabia.
Of course. Why not?
Saudi Arabia, the military was actually not being violent initially. They were promising talks until the head of the Janjaweed went to Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, and met with Donald Trump's best friend, MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, who's the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia. He's not on paper, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah, same situation.
If you can, let me describe to you who Mohammed bin Salman is. There's this guy. He's one of the richest men in the world. He was top 20. He locked him up in a hotel room and had him whipped. That's what you're dealing with. Dudes that literally slapping around billionaires. Literally, right? So he met with MBS, which is a nickname. Came back to the country, gunshots. Because that's exactly how MBS deals with, oh, you want to protest? MBS is the dude that arrested female drivers because it was illegal for a woman to drive in Saudi Arabia, and women advocated for it, and the people that protested for it got harsh prison sentences, and then he passed the law allowing women to drive and took credit for the ideal, as he was giving the people who advocated for it prison time. Son. So, shout out to the people of Sudan. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's not looking good, to be bluntly honest with you. Saudi Arabia's out here hold these guns. China's out here like, y'all gonna take care of this? We got money here. It's not looking good, but this is one of those moments where like the alternative is worse.
Yeah.
Like people are like, why would you, be quiet making all this noise? I'm like, what, you think you're going to keep quiet? Are you going to save your life? Which would you rather have? Like you die silently or you die at least standing for what you believe in, right?
Right.
And it's one of those moments where you have to make that tough choice. And I hope it doesn't break out into another civil war, because after Darfur, Sudan is a country split in two between northern Sudan and South Sudan. South Sudan is currently in a civil war. I don't want it to be another civil, like, damn. So
I don't want another front.
Yeah. And shit just got wild in Ethiopia, which is, if you black it from this hemisphere, you know Ethiopia looms large. She's the Rastafarians, right? Mm-hmm. So Ethiopia is another ethnically diverse country. They have a lot of ethnic tensions in the country. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but what I've learned is there's the way Ethiopia set up itself to deal with the ethnic tension is we're going to carve out states in which one ethnic group is going to be the majority. So even though you don't have your own country, that region,
you got your side.
Yeah, right? And then we all come together as one country in parliament to make the rules, right? There was an attempted coup in the Ashmire region by this dude that got let out of jail last year for trying an attempted coup.
Damn.
And even though I'm laughing, it's pretty serious. He killed the head of the military of Ethiopia. He didn't personally do it, but his co-conspirator, I guess, was the head of the Ethiopian army. Got shot to death in his own house by his bodyguard.
Damn.
Yeah. And the general of the governor of the region, he barely ducked. He got shot, but he survived. And yeah, the country turned off the internet. That was the scariest part of this. The president got on TV and was just like, "We're off this on control." He had a military gear. He never wears military gear. He's always in a suit. So it's just like, and then the internet shut off. Could you imagine if they did some shit? Yeah, could they do that shit here?
Of course they could.
Of course they can.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, what would that look like? Because, so in most countries, there's, like, one main internet provider, but we're so big, we have multiple. Do you think there's, like, a kill switch? Or there's just, like, they call up, like, Optimum and Time Warner, like, y'all niggas better turn this shit off?
Nah, I think, so, first of all, everything is through Verizon's lines on the ground. We know that.
Yeah.
So, supposedly, there are major key holders for the internet. There are like 7 of them throughout the world.
I know, but that's the internet in general. I'm talking about just for the United States.
I believe they go to there's like, through them, the subgroup, that could definitely shut us down.
Listen, bro. Motherfuckers got missiles.
That too. EMPs.
You operate under the auspice of, we won't come fuck you up. We know you have satellites up in the sky. Turn them bitches off, or shit's gonna get ugly.
Because I was thinking about that.
One thing that a lot of people are afraid of is the motherfucking IRS. If they turn that shit on you and about to wreck your whole fucking company, and you're like a multi-billion-dollar whatever the fuck you are, and they say they're gonna stick the IRS on you might comply.
Facts.
Right?
So
you're right.
That kill switch, if you like, you know what?
Listen, I don't know what would ever, because I had the same thought, like, they could definitely turn off the internet in the United States. I was just kind of thinking, like, what do you think would spark them turning off the internet? Because usually in countries where we've seen it so far, it's serious civil unrest. So in Ethiopia, it was a coup attempt. In Bahrain, it was a democratic uprising. In Syria, same thing. So what do you think in America would be that moment where they go, click?
They actually build the wall and we break it down.
You know what my thought was? I got very cynical. So we're going to do the slavery thing again. Click!
I mean, shit.
I got something else, but I won't say it on air.
Shit, to a certain degree, what's happening in these FEMA camps with the immigrants.
Yeah, we got concentration camps. I don't know why y'all getting real weird about that. If you arresting somebody for not committing a crime, arguing that they don't deserve toothpaste and soap,
Captain Michael, the guy who was arrested by Somali pirates, said the Somali pirates gave him a toothbrush
and soap.
The
United States government said children don't need that. You got niggas Somali plastic blankets on concrete floors. You losing kids.
Been losing kids.
They had to be threatened with legal action to take toddlers who were in critical condition health-wise, were vomiting and passed out, and they're like, nah, they good. If the lawyers weren't present, they wouldn't have taken them to legal care. Listen,
Somali pirates.
Or in the words of George Takei, because he was a Japanese American during World War II, the internment, he said, "I know what a concentration camp looks like. I've been in 2." I was like,
And they literally put them in some of the ones that they used for the fucking.
Yo, and if you on Facebook laughing or loving comments about kids in concentration camps, you know when you read those crazy stories and histories and wonder whose side you be on?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Goose Step.
That's a fact.
Facts.
Your mustache looking a little funny, bro.
Facts. Let's see. What's another big news? There was a story that I was going to say that I totally forgot. Y'all got anything?
Nope.
No, go ahead. You got this one.
Damn, there was a story. Oh my god, it was another big international story. Well, back in my country, we about to have some fuckery too for elections, but we're not getting into that at that moment. It's oil. That's why.
Of course.
They discovered oil. Now all of a sudden, niggas want to have thoughts about constitutions. Oh, okay.
Civil unrest.
Oh my god. Oh, here's what I want to talk about. Y'all heard what's happening in Oregon?
No.
Okay, so Oregon is one of the most.
Oregon,
it's two things.
Oregon,
okay, actually, random backstory about Oregon. Oregon was actually founded as a white homeland.
That I knew.
Mm-hmm. Right? So that's just it's neither here nor there. I just want to throw that out there. And people like, do you mean like historic? No, I mean like a literal white homeland, like in the like legal white only homeland. Anyway, now it's just a state that happens to be very white. Anyway,
accidentally,
the government of Oregon is very democratic at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The governor of Oregon is Democratic. The Senate is a supermajority Democrat. The House is a supermajority Democrat. So basically, Democrats just do what the fuck they want to, right? Mm-hmm. Republicans is upset about that, right? So here's what the Democrats wanted to do. They wanted to pass a bill to address climate change. You know, the thing that's going to kill us all if we don't do nothing about it?
Right.
So they wanted to pass a bill to try to make Oregon more environmentally friendly in order to slow down climate change.
What the fuck's in Oregon?
I don't know, but I have no idea other than Portland, honestly. Portland and Dame Lillard, that's all I know. So the Republicans cannot stop this bill. They have no votes to do it. They can't do anything about it. So they found a workaround. In order to pass a bill in Oregon, you need a certain amount of lawmakers physically present in the chamber. So Republicans have refused to show up to work. That's step one. Their plan is to not show up to work until June 30th. That's when the legislative session ends. So they're going to kill the bill that way. Like, we can't vote it down. We just won't show up to work, and you can't vote on it anyway. But by them not showing up to work, no bill gets passed. So just all bills are dead. Period. So the governor is just like, nah, fuck that. Come to work. Like, you're getting paid to be here, right?
Right.
Republicans are like, no. So the governor of Oregon, the Democratic governor, ordered police to forcibly bring the Republicans back to the Capitol.
Sounds about right.
The Republicans teamed up with right-wing militias and threatened the police. You can go online right now. One of the elected Oregon senators of the Republican Party for the state of Oregon said the police better send bachelors and people without kids because I'm armed. Basically, like I'm out. He threatened to kill police in an interview. Oh, it gets better. The militias offered to provide the Republicans protection and threaten the Democratic leadership in Oregon to the point where state police closed the building down for a day because of the threats. The Oregon Republican Party responded by saying Democrats are afraid to hear from constituents.
I have a question. Because, you know,
right-wing militias threatened to murder people, and the Oregon Republican Party said Democrats are afraid. They cowered is the word they used because they're afraid of hearing from constituents.
I have a question. How many arrests were made?
0. Publicly threatened to murder cops, publicly threatened to assault government officials, caused the shutdown, mocked them on Twitter.
So
no arrests, no threat of arrest, no coming arrests.
No fines?
No fine. Oh, they're getting fined $500 a day.
So
who cares?
My question
Bro,
is,
they make that.
my question is, right? Does this count as domestic terrorism?
Yes, it should, but come on now.
But it's white.
Right.
I don't think that's
it's civil unrest.
No,
which is democratic.
It's just a vigorous disagreement.
If you saw her job anywhere in that picture,
bruh,
the CIA. Oh no, excuse me. Homeland Security will be involved.
If you saw our black asses unarmed in that picture,
oh, somebody be dead.
Yeah,
somebody be dead.
You shot at.
Waste that type of opinion. You're getting shot at.
Ain't no visits to houses. No, not this. This
is
dude
just
threatened to murder. By the way, we're Blue Lives Matter.
The National Guard will be involved.
Blue Lives Matter
now.
right here because homie said he threatened to murder a cop. He legit threatened
They're not
to
needed
murder
because this is what democracy is all about. Disagreements, disputes, telling niggas to run the fade in more ways than one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Son, I listen. This is not the first time that lawmakers have fled to stop a vote. It's just the first time that they fled and teamed up with right-wing militias to threaten violence. That's the first. I'm like, yo, no one's going to jail. No one's even going to get a visit from the FBI, state police. No. Wow. Oh, y'all just gonna. Wow, this is quite an amazing situation, huh?
Look at
it really is quite
look at the head
amazing.
Look at the head of the snake, though, bro. You know what time it is.
Yeah, son, I couldn't believe it, son. I was flabbergasted, my G. Like, son, like there's moments where I'm just like, I hate New York City, and there's other moments where I'm just like, yo, it could be a lot worse, yo.
Facts,
son.
Because if you're comfortable enough to say that, what you doing at your house?
This is why I'm gonna stay strapped. As soon as I leave the city.
Facts. No, I'm
it used
facts.
to be stay safe, now stay dangerous.
Listen, facts. If I'm for gun control, but if you're a person of color that live in one of these states and you have the right to bear arms, I encourage you to do so.
Facts.
Legally
and be proficient. Don't just have it and take pictures on Instagram with it because you can. Know how to use that motherfucker well.
Right.
Well, because militia is a real word.
Mm-hmm.
It means these motherfuckers got training. They practice this shit.
Hold on. Go into the mountains and practice to destroy the government, but niggas don't get interviewed.
Which is so interesting, because they'll do task teams and everything to stop gangs and quote unquote black neighborhoods and people and activists, but an actual white militia who goes into the mountains to stop the government, they'll let them be. They're just getting the stress out.
Sad.
To stop the government.
Speaking of right to bear, I saw this Vice story where they were not Vice. It was Jordan Klepper from the Daily Show. He does Real News now, and he profiled two groups in Texas. Mm-hmm. They were practicing open carry. One was a black group, Black Gorilla something, and one was a white group, and they both had the same weapons. And they showed how the white group was just basically walking through town with guns, unaccosted. And the Black Gorilla group was walking publicly with, your right to bear arm publicly, police escort. Every time they showed up, police followed. Every single time. And then he's just like, and then you're talking to the white group about like, it's interesting how the reactions that you guys get, because like, I've been walking with you with a gun, and as uncomfortable I've been, like, there's been no kind of reaction, but like, what do you think about people who try to practice this and get harassed? He's like, we're doing this for everybody. It's just like,
are you though?
I don't see a police escort by you.
So you gonna go to the homie's trial when they accosted him for the billionth time for not breaking the law? I doubt it.
Yeah, Philando Castile.
Guns for everybody, unless you're a person of color.
Philando fucking Steel, bro.
Speaking of which, the NRA is into some shit, boy. Some the money looking funny in the light. The NRA been spending crazy. They try to get him out the box, but he good at what he does. They try to the guy beneath him try to remove him from power. Mm-hmm. It didn't work out, B. When you shoot, you best not miss.
What the hell happened?
So what happened is the Washington Post started releasing some financial malfeasance. Basically, $100,000 checks are being cut that don't make sense. And they're being cut to people that are either related or doing business with the guy at the top, Wayne LaPierre. To the point where, despite the NRA taking in a lot of money, they have a lot of debt. Right? So the new leadership is like, yo, we should cut down spending on some of this shit and rein in executive pay. And Wayne LaPierre is basically went on and just yo, there's a conspiracy against me by these moderate Republicans and their left-wing friends, and called niggas out. And they're like, all right, so they try to remove him from power, and that's when they realize, like, hey, when you come for the king, baby, you best not miss. There's a reason Wayne LaPierre is in power. Because, oh, damn, my mic's cutting it. Hello?
Yep,
yeah.
you good.
Yeah, there's a reason. Nope.
Yep. You said the wrong thing, Mike.
God, there you go.
Damn, the fucking microphone's about to come through. Hello?
Yeah.
All right, whatever.
Clearly, we didn't get one of those $100,000 checks.
Facts.
So I tried to take him out, and it did not work. And now he's on the warpath. One of the reasons they're in debt is because, first of all, niggas take foreign checks. Russians and the Russians be cutting in there, racing big ass checks, and they spending a ton of money on NRA TV. You ever seen that shit on YouTube?
Yeah.
That's just not money making them money. But it's getting out like this right wing message, and the leadership was just kind of like, yo, are we gun rights or policy news? What is this? Like, yo, we should be spending on campaigns to reduce guns, like gun limitations. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, and yeah. So their finances are not as good as it should be. People are circling, and hopefully they die. Not the people, the organization, because after the story came out, the NRA was founded in New York State, which means they are under the jurisdiction of the New York State Attorney General, who is Letitia James. Letitia James hates guns. Letitia James said, "Oh, there's funny money, guys. I need your text documents. Thank you."
Get him.
Black girl magic.
We'll see what comes of that, but they have to comply because people are like, why don't they just change their founding charter? I'm like, you can't. That's your founding charter. You would have to dissolve to get a new one.
Ooh, NRA dissolving? No.
When their charter was founded in New York, was a lot more gun friendly. Times to change, nigga.
I don't know, bro. I've been watching Suits. Shit get shaky. Dissolve and draw some paperwork up within the same goddamn day. You got enough people doing the shit.
You right.
Get done in the dark before the next Wall Street bell hits.
The last thing I want to talk about, because the news is a little while before I get to some positive shit. Your boy Donnie out here trying to start a war with Iran, but he's actually not. I'm going to say something. I'm being very serious when I say this. I need Donald. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this. The one thing Donald Trump has always been consistent of is he don't want to go over. He doesn't get in wars with foreign countries. That's the one thing he's been pretty consistent about. I think it's pretty much racism, to be honest with you. He's just like, I don't want to be around these niggas.
Right.
Sounds about right.
But the people around him, they all about that bomb action. You know what they are? They're those guys in that group of thugs that never shoot or stab or fight, but always try to get into one.
Right.
Hype man?
Yo.
Okay.
They send the soldiers out, but don't never do the clapping.
Especially John Bolton, who's never fought in a single war in his life, but hasn't met one he didn't want to start. So
they're also trying to get a second term too. So
there's a place in the Persian Gulf called the Strait of Hormuz. You don't need to know where that is because I don't. I'm terrible with geography. But it's important because I think like 50% of the world's oil goes through that strait. Mm-hmm. So who controls that? Controls the oil. It's right near Iranian territorial waters. So y'all beefing Iran because America's trying to shut Iran out of the international community. What does that mean? America's the most powerful economy on earth. If America starts to create sanctions without the rest of the world, let's say America has trade sanctions with you, right? If you do business with Iran, you can't do business with the United States. It's the biggest economy in the world. Do you comply with those sanctions?
Of course, it's bully tactics.
So what does that mean? That means not only can you not trade, that means sometimes Iranian businesses get locked out of international banking. Like, we transfer money around the world. The systems that govern that, who created those systems?
We did.
Right? So they get locked out in major ways. And Iran, it's like, y'all niggas really think you're going to put us in the corner like we some bitches? So the United States accused Iran of blowing up an oil tanker, right? The Iranians said we didn't do it. The Americans like, no, we have this footage. Here it is. Look, there they are planting the bomb. The oil tanker belonged to a Japanese private company. The Japanese guy that owned the company is like, it wasn't the Iranians. No one planted the bomb. Someone shot something at us. And the Iranians like, no, they stuck the bomb there. Like, the guy's like, I was on the boat. No, someone shot something to hit our ship. But the Americans are like, no, the Iranians did it. No one believes them. Right? So now we're in a moment where they're like, who do you believe, America or Iran? And I'm just like, whoo!
Given
I'm
our
supposed
track
to
history.
believe Donald Trump
And his cronies.
or this nigga who's be doing some wild shit like damn. Neither you niggas.
I choose other.
So what happened was America was flying a spy drone, as we do, not minding our black business. And the Iranians shot it down. They said we shot it down, but America said they shot it down over international waters, which would be an act of aggression. Iran said it was over Iranian airspace, which would be logical. You're in my airspace, I can shoot you down. So the Americans said the Iranians are lying. The Iranians say the Americans are. Who do we believe again?
I'm gonna believe the Iranian.
I'm gonna choose to wish both of y'all niggas can go away. Because I know the record of both of y'all. I'm out. I'm not. So what happened was they convinced Trump to order a military strike on Iran in retaliation for a drone getting shot down. Just to give you perspective of what that means someone stepped on our RC car and we're going to kill actual people in response to that. I didn't agree to this. So literally last minute, as niggas is about to go do the strike, Donnie goes, "Nah, I don't want to do this." Just changed his mind. Fickle prick. And he's like, "Nah, I think it was a mistake. Nah, I didn't mean to do it." And I'm like, we just got saved from a war because numbnuts over here just changed his mind like he always does? Guys,
the fact that your fucking leader of your goddamn country's that unstable that you don't know literally what he's gonna do to the last moment.
Guys, the reason we're beef with these niggas is because they have the capability to build a nuke. Like, this is the nigga making the decisions? Oh my god.
Yo.
Like, niggas' lives is on the line because he making decisions. Yo,
I'm gonna be real with you.
We really elected this man.
I'm gonna be real with you.
We didn't elect him.
About to say.
Understand that.
Nah, you got him fucked up. You thought. I know who I voted for.
They chose not to elect this dude, and he still became fucking president, bro.
He had to cheat. You know what? Let me not say that.
Collusion.
There were discrepancies.
And then the way he answers questions is like he's teased in a reality show. Like, you know, like yo, what's gonna happen in the next episode? You gotta tune in to watch. So are we going to war with Iran? Or you gotta tune in to find out.
Let me tell you something.
Nigga, this isn't The Apprentice. Yo, we talking about lives. What the fuck? Shit, speaking of which, he's really trying to get niggas out the box. He getting rid of the agency that gives niggas promotions.
What?
Yeah. So the agency that manages all federal employees has issues. It needs to be reformed. Everyone agrees on that. He is getting rid of them because he wants a federal hiring freeze across the board and to slash workers. He's using it like, oh, this agency needs reform? Oh, you mean the one that gives promotions and assignments and processes new hires? So you mean I could get rid of this and get a hiring freeze without Congress approval? Yeah, fuck this agency.
Man's is this
Trump for jobs, Trump for healthcare.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
you can't make listen.
I'm gonna keep it funky with you.
I fucks with drag. I fucks with drag on. He had a freestyle, and he said, "We survived Trump, Bush Senior and Junior. He thinks we'll be all right surviving Trump." I'm not too sure,
me neither, my nigga.
I'm not too sure, bro.
I knew who Bush Senior and Junior were. They're imperialists.
Yes,
like we've seen them throughout history. I know who they are. I know the character. I know what they do, and I get it. This nigga's making it up as he goes along.
Different, bro.
He's more than different.
You're
right.
That nigga's a
son. Like, listen, he don't give a fuck.
Out there, you got the brain cells, the mustard fuck, bro. But you got this motherfucker on the button.
How about this?
Don't remind us.
His former staffer was called to testify before Congress, and he told her, "No, don't do that." And then Congress is like, "Okay, why is she not allowed to testify?" Absolute immunity. Guys, there is literally no legal thing called absolute. He literally made it up. And you're like, oh, so that means she testified? No. He's president. That's it. He made it up. He made up a legal term. He told his lawyers to say it. They said it out loud, and she's not testifying. That's it. That's it. That's apparently how the law. That's apparently how the law works now. I make some shit up, and then we move on with our lives. You're like, wait, can they take them to court? Yeah, they're taking them to court. But in the meantime, guess what? She ain't testifying.
Who?
Son, he made up a legal term. Like, it wasn't like his lawyers was like, yo, they're trying to finesse the game. Like, you could tell it was him that told him to say that. Yo, just she has absolutely.
It doesn't even sound like legalese.
It's not. It doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
Absolute immunity.
Son, it's not a thing.
I ain't voting for this nigga.
And he's done that to every single person the Dems have called to testify about the White House. And that's one of the reasons why we need to really talk about impeachment. I know people are afraid of impeachment, but listen,
I'm not.
The Democrats are,
oh.
and because if you remember when they impeached Bill Clinton, at the end of it made him more popular. Right, that's what they're afraid of. Right?
I don't think that's gonna happen. The one thing I will say that I regret is being part of the generation that's gonna donate to his salary afterwards continuously. That's it. That's the only thing I wish. If we could find a bill to stop that for him, nigga, I'm all for that.
So here's the moment that we're having. Forget the other stuff. So when you get called before the House for a committee, that is a subpoena. In the same way, if the district attorney in New York called you to testify, you need to show up. When the House calls you to testify, you need to show up. That's a legally compelling subpoena, right? None of the people they've called have showed up to testify because they're arguing that it's executive privilege or absolute immunity, right? And that's not... Executive privilege is a thing, but it exists on stuff that you haven't talked about before publicly. And I don't know if you know about Donnie. He talks about everything all the time.
Yo.
So, like, how you claim an executive privilege on shit you've given interviews about? Like, like, if it was such a secret, why you talk about it?
Like, this nigga's found all the loopholes by creating bullshit, and there's no precedence for the shit, so they can make it up as they go along.
100%. So they haven't shown up. It's going to court. It might end up in the Supreme Court. FYI, the last 2 Supreme Court justices have been appointed by
Agent Orange.
So, here one of a few options that might happen here. Either the Agent Orange Supreme Court asserts that the president is basically God, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants, which is a possibility.
Sounds like dictatorship to me, but okay.
What? In America?
No.
First of all, that sounds like freedom. Freedom from these oppressive rules and bureaucracy.
Yeah.
And the Constitution. Who does that? Anyway,
he's looking out for the little man. He got rid of an office that doesn't need to be there. That's wasting tax dollars. That means more tax dollars for me.
While he goes golfing.
The court rules that he has to comply, and he says, fuck y'all. Right? Or the third option, like we end up in this weird limbo where the ruling isn't as clear, but it basically leaves the president in this position where he's literally above the law. Because, like, I just told you, he made up a legal term.
I just want to...
And it's now law, right? So if the president's above the law, does that mean moving forward, that's how we're going to operate? Because if that's how we're moving, I don't know if the next Democrat in there better be wow. Yo, we better be wow. Oh, we giving y'all reparations. We have to talk about this. No, you ain't hear me. I said we giving reparations. Talk. Fuck that.
I just want to say, not too long ago, y'all niggas was mad about a certain president in a tan suit.
Ooh, bring back the tan suit, brother.
Yo.
Bring back the tan suit.
And playing basketball.
Oh my God. And having rappers present, such as, in the words of Bill O'Reilly, the gangster rapper Common.
First of all, can you share that story?
Like water, like chocolate. This nigga was singing with a crochet hat. Talking about gangster rap.
There are times when you need someone, I will be by your side.
Yo, I'm dead. Find me in the nearest cemetery, because that's where I'm at.
That's about as gangster as it gets. My man, what? He just wrote a book, Let Love Have the Last Word.
Yeah, they talk about raising kids and being positive
and being a husband. Black men don't cheat.
Oh my God. Bill O'Reilly called it gangster rap, which... Anyway, Bill O'Reilly's opinions on things. Anyway, that's the place we're at with Donnie. Like, either we're going to impeach or we're just going to say that the president has absolute power. Because if the belief is that the election will suddenly cure all of this, you guys are fucking delusional. Once you set precedent for someone's power and authority, it continues on.
Agreed.
So let's make the assumption that, like, let's say worst case scenario, Donnie wins the presidency, but the Dems win Congress. You've just basically told him he can do whatever the fuck he wants to.
Pretty much. That's what we're rolling with right now.
Y'all think because now y'all got more votes that he's going to listen? What?
Like, at some point, does this shit lead to him being marched into Congress in fucking bracelets? Like, this is what it's
never gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
never gonna happen.
What do you do with this shit?
I don't know.
This is fucking.
I know what you do. I can't say it on air.
No, but like we need to listen. I'm a worst case scenario sort of dude, so I don't think that he's ever going to go to jail, end up in cuffs. We've already set the precedent. The United States presidents basically don't get held accountable for their crimes, even if they're obvious. Richard Nixon organized a burglary from inside the White House. He spent 0 days in jail. Ronald Reagan helped organize the sale of cocaine for weapons to gift to terrorists. He ain't go to jail. He died peacefully in his sleep. Didn't remember it. He had Alzheimer's towards the end of his life. George Bush Sr. overthrew Latin American countries throughout the entire 70s. He became president. He actually got promoted. Like, that's not going to happen. But here's what's the worst case scenario that could happen, right? People forget that we live in a federal system. The federal system means the federal government has a some level of authority and the states have some level of authority, right? Is the assumption that the right is making, and by right I mean Republicans making, that because they now have the most powerful office in the federal government that every state's going to comply?
No.
Because if that's your assumption, boy, isn't this literally what happened in the Civil War?
That's a fact.
This is literally what happened in the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln came into power. Now we want to own slaves. I haven't even said anything about slaves. But you would consider it? I mean, maybe. Now we out. So y'all think the reverse won't happen? Yo, I don't know about all this Black Lives Matter and gay rights and the immigration. Now, this is America. We ain't doing that here. The states of California, New York, Massachusetts, we taking our money and tell y'all go eat a dick.
Eat a dick. Eat a dick.
We're taking the colors with us.
Damn, son.
Could you imagine if that shit happened? That's like the entire economy of the country gone in a second.
That's a fact.
Go ahead, try to run the federal government on that Kansas money. See how far that shit gets you.
Miami gonna be the new Wall Street. That's about it.
Texas is split.
Oh, hell yeah, Texas is split. We're like, we don't like the Latinos. Excuse me?
You mean the majority of your motherfucking state?
Shit. Taking my bodega out of here.
But anyway, like, listen, I don't know what comes of this, but the current approach of, like, this wait and see is not the way, fam. Every day you let this nigga get away with more shit you're giving whoever is after him the same power. Think of it that way. When we used to talk about Barack and people like these executive actions that he took, which now looking back weren't that powerful, think about the power Donnie has carved out for himself. I don't have to testify to you. I don't have to answer questions.
If that ain't the sign of white privilege, I don't know what the fuck is.
But I can interfere in federal investigations. I can tell state secrets to foreign adversaries.
But guys, I thought all this was illegal. What happens to balancing checks? I remember watching Schoolhouse Rock.
In the words of Jesus, that's just a wild dub. Oh, chicks and bounce is just a wild dub.
Damn.
It's just a dub.
Facts.
They lied. All right, now some powerful black news. We're gonna wrap this up here. My moment of joy.
Facts.
Is I was reading some articles that made me feel good about blackness, even though I wasn't none of the niggas in the article. There's an NBA player named Luol Deng. Mm-hmm. He's a good player. He's not like Hall of Famer, but like he's a pretty good player. Mm-hmm. He has a real estate portfolio. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Worth $125 million.
Well done, sir.
His career earnings, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Is 151.
Woo!
He's been dumping that money in, boy. Right? And you're like, damn, how did he get a portfolio like this? Here's the best part about this story. You ready for this?
Yeah.
He got into the real estate game because the government has what's called opportunity zones, right? Anyone want to guess what opportunity zones are?
Black neighborhoods.
Yes, because banks are racist. Let's be very blunt about this. Banks are racist, and they've refused to invest in neighborhoods that are black and brown for a long time, despite multiple federal cases and lawsuits. So what the government is saying is, like, if you do want to invest in these neighborhoods, we'll incentivize it, right? So a lot of black athletes have started to be like, we got capital. We know these hoods.
Right.
That's exactly what he did. One of the people who got Luol Deng interested in this, you ready for this? Nipsey Hussle.
Of course.
Nipsey Hussle and his partner David Gross was one of the people that started bringing NBA players onto this investment.
Also, gangster rapper.
Yeah. Derrick Rose is heavily invested in Chicago. Carmelo Anthony just closed on a multi-million-dollar development in Baltimore. Luol Deng is out here doing his thing, and a bunch of other athletes are getting involved in it. And he talked about it. He's just like, he said, I've been giving out free real estate seminars to anybody in the NBA that's interested. We've just been putting on it. So you'll spend the money and gathering them, just telling them how to do this because we need more people involved in it. And I was just like, he said, one of the things the reason I'm doing it for free is just like, I hate the narrative that we all go broke.
Yep.
He's like, I'm tired of that shit. Like, we make way too much money. There's way too much opportunity out here for us to be like, just living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm just like, yeah, nigga.
They wasn't what you shooting in the gym, bro.
Shit. And that just made me, I was just like, it's dope the reason you hear about that from the premier players, like the LeBrons and the Kobes and the Shaqs. But when you hear from like the second tier players, that's how you know that's just penetrating.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's just, like, one level removed from that dude that's about to be like, yo, I'm about to go buy a Lambo. That's an investment. He's just like, nigga, you paid your rent yet?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm about to pull up in the PJs. Rent. Why buy a rent? I could live here for free.
That's a fact. Fuck, you could buy the peas. What's wrong with you?
I bought my mom a building.
That's a fact.
What's it? Aubrey said in the murder, I'm about to buy the building every door that closed on me. Shit.
Yeah, buddy.
That's my moment of joy. I read the article. I was just like,
so
yo, this is amazing. He really is, though.
Yo, if you ever said anything bad to Aubrey, son,
he remembers.
He remembers and he'll shout you out. My moment of joy was, I got a whole bunch of them. First of all, shout out to the dad and the son who hit the Denny's commercial. The dad that was talking to the son and they were babbling.
Yeah.
Yo,
that was a beautiful moment.
I really felt like Monday they were viral. Friday they got a Denny's commercial. So shout out to him and that future college baby Gerber fund. All right. The other one was washing dishes in Caribbean household. Entails the following. If you are West Indian, you already know. Putting away leftovers, putting away the dry dishes. They're washing the actual dirty dishes, cleaning the sink, cleaning down the counters, cleaning the stove, sweeping and mopping the kitchen, then taking out the trash. I see no lies here. I
feel triggered. I was doing that before I got here. Leave me alone.
Obviously, cheesecake. Oh, my last one. They like to put blackface on everything but Jesus. I was just like, my nigga. Thank you, Black Twitter.
Damn. Wow. All right. Well, my moment of joy. My mother's about to retire from 25 plus years.
Congrats.
Taking care of my neighborhood and teaching in my hood, bro. She a Highbridge legend, low key, bro.
She getting that pension?
Oh yeah, you already know. That 401k gonna be lit.
Listen,
my pop's about to go to Hawaii July 15th. Take a week out there, parlay, chill, live it up, eat some real pineapple.
My brother, do y'all know how weird it is that within like 2 generations we talking about retirement?
Yeah.
Like they literally used to work us to death.
Yep.
I mean,
to death. They still do.
Right.
I don't make it seem like that's going away.
But they're trying to bring it back.
I mean, actually,
in full force.
I mean, not to be negative, but like slavery is actually, there's more slaves now than any time before. But anyway.
Moment of joy.
Not a hit on this.
Yeah, that's moment of joy. I was saying, like, anytime I hear about a black person retire, I just kind of want to stare at them because, like, unicorns, son. Like, yo, you real, son?
Yeah, bro.
Especially West Indians. They be working 2 jobs. Yo, I just retired from 1. How many more you got?
I need to talk to my West Indian people. Retirement means you slow down. It doesn't mean you start a new career, nigga. Like, son, how you going to retire from one job in 20? Yo, son.
This is a real thing.
I know it is. Let me tell you, my father's talking about that right now. He got a couple years left on him. He like, I got to figure out my next hustle. Like, How about chilling?
How about?
I'm not saying don't go to work. I'm just saying don't start a whole ass
you know what my mama said? She said if I get bored, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go be a Walmart greeter. She's like, I'm gonna just put on a nice vest with dazzle it and just wave at people.
Shoot, why not? Nah, that shit is real, man.
Oh shit, but yeah, shout out to my moms, man. 25 plus years of holding down Highbridge, man. She done taught whole goons to read, bro. Yep. Whole goons.
Yo, that's real, son.
Yeah, something to aspire to. I mean, in my own right. I ain't worked for nobody that damn long. I'm gonna have 25-year run of making my own goddamn money and doing it well.
Yeah, my G.
But yeah,
I keep it funky. I had a vacation 2 weeks ago. I showed up for work still thinking, yo, I gotta work. Nigga was like, what you doing here? Go home. Had to call up to verify.
Gotta get out the matrix.
That's the most West Indian shit I ever heard in my life.
Facts. No facts,
You have to be sent home. You on vacation. Get the fuck out my face.
Yo, the supervisor was like, yo, go across that Starbucks, enjoy that chai tea, enjoy the rest of your week.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, like I've never showed up to work on vacation. I'm sorry, stereotypes are true. Like I have to do some shit. They're like, yo, you could wait till the end. I'm like, I can't. It's bothering me.
I don't know my name.
I came into work. My coworker's like, ain't you on vacation? Like, just let's not talk about this. Shh. Oh, one more moment of joy. Attack on Titan. This is my new favorite shit on television.
Yo.
After Game of Thrones ended, this shit's been fucking my life up. I just been watching the last 2 weeks of this shit. Like, I don't know who wrote this show, but nigga, you need to talk to somebody. Work through your shit, okay? Because you putting your pain on the screen, my nigga. You guys talk to your pops, okay? You're putting your pain on this page.
I'm going to keep it extra funky.
Just fire.
Season 3, episodes to 17, 18. I think it's up to 18 now. It's like you went from one episode, all right, cool. The big climatic thing, we're going cool. Nope. They brought it in again. Then the next episode, they brought it in again. And it's just like, what? There is no... Yeah. You start getting... You know what you do? You start getting mad at... You start getting mad at characters. Why are you so relaxed? In the previous episode, you saw what happened. Why y'all not just looking around? Like, my nigga, like... Yo.
It's one of those shows where, like, you thought you had a grasp of what was happening. Facts. And then you're just like, oh, I really didn't know shit. Okay. I've just apparently been oblivious this whole time.
Again, I knew something nothing. Else I need to throw on.
Driving blind.
I knew nothing.
Straight up.
It reminded me of like when Littlefinger revealed he was behind all this shit. I was just like, oh, I didn't know shit. I thought I knew the story of Robert's Rebellion. My bad. I ain't know shit.
I can't with y'all.
Niggas is like, yeah, kidnapped. Yeah, that's what happened. Anyway. Yeah, it's been Last Stop on the L. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope y'all had a good time. Go bump that new Benny the Butcher. Or if you want to listen to something lighter, go bump that new Ara Linux. You know what I'm saying? If you want to listen to something lighter, I don't know what's lighter than that, man. Like this.
KTU.
Yeah, listen.
Go bump some Enya. I don't know.
Shea Butter
real.
Baby.
Boy, Danny Ocion did. You know what I spell my name.
It's your boy Chris Highbridge.
It was your boy Man Mike saying the clitoris has over 8,000 nerve endings. And it's not as sensitive as some of you bitch ass niggas. Holla at me.
Damn, it like an Aubrey song. It's like, what you
look at this. Look at what we did.
He was very street smart, and he will observe.
I took the money to the plug house. The butcher coming, nigga.
Nigga had the eye of the tiger. He was hungry.
I took the money to the plug house. Ain't no fuck around with Vinny and Uncle Al. I took the money to the plug house. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm from Buffalo where it's cold in summer. All we know is hustling. Lower numbers than the Ochoa brothers. They broke the code, now we exposing suckers. They know the flow disgusting. A Griselda feature will blow your budget. Been through hell, had to make it. I was well validated. Kept my family in my scale, calibrated. 2012, I'm in sales for a sale. Had no patience. All these cats acting gangster, autographing affidavits. That ain't me. They do my last year numbers at best. I ain't fumbled that yet. It's funny cause I'm getting running back checks. Real shit, it ain't none of that left. I'm landing solo with the Scorpion logo right in front of